Guys, welcome to today's training. Now, I've just come off a couple calls with clients and I've been teaching them how to structure the pillars in your offer to make sure A, you're increasing your close rate, B, people aren't thinking about it, and C, there's not going to be a price objection. Now, the huge part of people think sometimes the pitch needs to be so amazing and include so much and use all the 18-syllable words and like all this stuff, right? It doesn't need all that. It needs certain frameworks. This isn't the training for it. We can go through it in another one. But today what I want to do is teach you how to structure your offer to make sure you get all these things going to happen on the back end of the call. And some of the common things that people do wrong in structuring their pillars that actually have their clients leaning out and not leaning in from the sale. So today in the training, I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can do this right now in your offer, and you can implement this as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is break down how you can structure your pillars in a way to make sure people aren't leaving you on red and seen in your messages after a sales call, to make sure you're not dealing with the price objection or the think about it objection, right? So what we're going to do, let's dive in. So usually in your offer should be built up of pillars, right? And pillars is just essentially, the pillars of the offer is how you package and communicate what it is you do to the market. So I usually have clients 3 to 4. I wouldn't go over 4. It becomes too much of a mouthful. I really always encourage people to keep it with 3, because a lot of people feel like at the end of a sales call in the pitch, it's their chance to convince and wow and show you all the things, but it's not that. Like, you need to make sure the way you deliver your pillars are sequentially stacked in a way. So A, the prospect, the potential client, understands this is a solution for them, and it also needs to make sense to them. If you name a pillar, the magnetic aura 3000 golden mind shift process thing, it's going to be like, what the fuck is that? Like, A, it's just not going to make sense, and B, it's literally going to sound like something you made up. So it needs to make sense to them. So we need to name them in a way so it makes sense to them that, that does make sense. I would want to do that first, and then I would want to do that second. So I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes on my old men's mindset coaching business that I scaled up to $20,000 a month. So first of all, we had pillar 1, which was awareness, right? And then pillar 2, which was integration. And then pillar 3, relationships. Okay, cool. So these were the 3 pillars of my program. Awareness. Well, first of all, we need to bring awareness to certain areas of your life that you actually might not even be aware of, which are actually playing out in your subconscious, controlling these negative patterns and loops that are happening in your life. What we do through this, it's been a while, what we do through this is we give you the tools to shine light on these areas. So A, you can love them, you can dissolve the shame, and you can take power back and confidence in every area of life, right? What happens here is, now you understand this, what do we do with this information though? So we move you to the second pillar, which is integration. Integration is like, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to go through the whole pitch. So you need to create your pillars in a structure in a way that it's a framework to solve the problem, not a script. If you're repeating what you say every single time, it's going to come off clunky, and you're going to be speaking to points that aren't even relevant to them. As you can see there, the way I'm speaking, it's not a pre-rehearsed script. Well, it is in a way, but it's more a framework. So what I would say is, if someone was telling me they're experiencing self-sabotage in their life, they keep ruining relationships, jobs, drinking, not sticking to diets, what I'm going to speak to is why awareness is the key for self-sabotage. I'm not going to speak about this will then give them develop purpose and fulfillment in life. If that is the thing they've been speaking about in the call, every time you deliver your pillars, your pitch at the end of a call, it needs to make sense to them. It needs to be specific to them. So like, really get out of the habit. If you have a script, it's cool for some talking points as you go through a sales call, but you don't want to be scripting this out. You want to have a framework and an understanding. Why? Because it needs to make sense to them. You'll be saying similar things every time, but there need to be open loops so you can address their problems in your entire process. So what's going to happen is they are going to be sharing problems with you on the sales call, all these problems, right? It could be many things. It could be 3 or 4 main things. And what's going to happen is there's going to be some standout problems that really, really are like the thing that's really, really getting to them. These are going to be the 3 things you focus on. Might seem obvious, but a lot of salespeople, I literally just the other day, I was shopping for an engagement ring for my fiance. And I was also looking at something for myself. And when I went into the shop, not a single person asked me what I like about what I was looking for or what we want for her. Not a single person asked me what I've looked at before, why I haven't purchased it, how long I've been thinking about this. None of this was asked. I was like, wow, you guys are selling like $2, $3, $5, $10, $20, $30, $40,000 pieces. And you're shit at sales. Like, I was actually taken, everyone was like, they put something on me. They're like, oh, it looks great. It looks so great. I'm like, what? Like, I can put anything on the shop. You're going to say that. So it's like the same thing transitions, and not that's a blown out example, but you're not going to sit there and like tell someone like, hey, you need awareness because this and this. You're going to offer them solutions and pathways and why this framework works and why it hasn't worked in the past for them and how it has in the future. And this comes back to when we go through our discovery. But coming back to the pillars, I go on tangents. Sometimes you get used to it. Coming back to the pillars, what's going to happen is there's going to be some standout problems they're going through. We need to make sure we just focus on these. But what's going to happen is they might be like 5 or 6 main ones that, say they have 5 main problems, 5 key problems that they're trying to go through. What's going to happen is in your pitch, you need to address all of these as you go through. And if you know how to take notes on sales calls, it's going to be a lot easier. I show a lot of clients the correct way to do that. So what's going to happen is as you deliver on awareness, you're going to link back this problem as awareness is the solution. Now, integration could also be a solution to that. So you can also mention that. You can stack on top of that. So what's going to happen is as you go through, awareness could solve this. It could solve this. Maybe awareness solves 3 problems. The integration also touches here, and relationships is going to touch here, and it could even touch up here. So the first thing you need to have dialed is the pillars of your program. If you don't have those dialed, this is why when I work with clients, we always go through their messaging and their offer initially, because you need to be aware of the problem you're solving in the market for the specific audience. And it's not because content is a different beast. Like, we can go into that another time. But if your pillars are off, people are going to get to the call and feel like it's a mismatch for the program. Now, we'll move over here to a bit of a business example. I'm going to use myself as an example. Right. I got 3 pillars. So the first pillar is offer. We need to make sure we dial your offer in with similar processes like this to make sure it's unique in the marketplace, which will allow you to command a higher price for it. There's certain ways you structure certain things that's going to allow you to charge a lot more for it. So we go through a full offer training, understanding your niche, the problem, the perceived problem, the market psychology, all of it. Then second tier, we're going to go through what I call a CTS. Trademark. CTS is certainty, traffic, and sales. Certainty, we need to build certainty in the person behind the business. We need to make sure you're 100% confident on the thing you're delivering, the processes, the systems, everything in place. Because a lot of systems out there will be cookie-cutter approaches. We need to take the human behind the business, for example, that is the priority, and then we build around the human. We don't make the human fit the business. Then we go into traffic. So we install a lead generation machine, paid or organic, and we show you how to scale that up piece by piece as we go. We build the foundation. I actually train up and install a team of editors into your business for you, and then we can start delivering higher quality content. We really want to get this live within the first 10 to 30 days, depending where you're at. I've got clients getting live in 5 days. I've got clients getting live in 30 days. Depends where you're at. This is something that will compound and stack over time. This builds inertia. This builds energy in your system, in your business. The last one is sales. I train you on high ticket sales, how to nurture leads, market psychology, all of this again. Like, a lot of the times, people don't have a lead flow problem. They have a sales problem. Actually, most of the time it's a content problem, because if you don't have leads, your content's shit. Or you don't know how to, maybe your content isn't shit, but you don't know how to structure it in a way to harness more engagement and more attention. So that's what we'll fix first. The certainty, traffic is sold through content, and then sales is sold through your skills. We give you all the skills. I really lift up the curtain on high ticket sales and give you everything you need to start, from my experience in closing, upwards of 15K deals off one call closes. Then from here, we'll go down to optimize and scale. So this is when we really put petrol on the fire. This is when we're able to know our KPIs. Like, first of all, if your offer is brand new, we want to take it to market, we need to get proof of concept. So we do that through the first two pillars. Once we get a few wins on the board, then we can look, how do we optimize, how do we scale this? How do we do that? Well, we need to identify what's going to break first. Maybe you don't have the budget to scale the ad spend. Maybe you don't have the time. Maybe you don't have the capacity to take more clients on. So we need to start working on things before they become a problem, so you can smoothly continue to scale the whole way throughout this business journey. Most of the time I'm working with solopreneurs or someone that has a VA or one person on their team. So most of the time we need to build automations, systems, back-end processes, so you can get your time back and work on the things that really matter. So that is essentially the three pillars I run through. This is how you can start to build your three pillars out and make sure they're solving all the problems on that call, because a confused buyer does nothing. And if you can genuinely, deeply understand where the person is at and link your product, your program, your offer to their current struggle, more often than not, people are going to want to buy from you if you have the correct high ticket skills. I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini training. I've just trained on this like 4 times in the last 2 weeks, and I thought it'd be great to put a little video version together, post it out there. Hopefully you guys take away. My whole goal with putting free content out there is, and it's happened before, and this just happened a couple of weeks ago. One of my clients signed up and she went through one of my free trainings, landed a client that week because of the sales training, and then she jumped on board with me. I was like, that's exactly what I want. I want you guys to go out there. I only want to work with people that want to implement, not people on the content flywheel. So if you're going out there and this stuff works, I'm looking forward to hear from you, because then I can show you how we can really ramp things up. So thanks again for hanging around. As always, if this is on YouTube, give it a like, give it a subscribe, give it a comment, all those things. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Cheers.